don't have to do that. You're a YouTube essayist that makes one YouTube essay every 2 years. Who gives a shit? Read a book. Hasanabi thinks trans people would suffer the same if Kamala was president. What the is he on now? When he used to call libs T-words, they mean Hasan, and I can't deny it. He's our dumbest leftist, and he hates the LGBTQ community. He's our worst ally. Sad face. What the this guy going on about now? I don't think this is a pet. Yeah, bro, I'm an enemy. I'm a foe to the LGBT community. This is well established. This is from eReddit. What, like Ethan Klein's subreddit or something? Are the sex pestiny bots back again? Brother, out of context clip wins again. What happened? I feel like these wait for me to say something about Kamala Harris so they can professionally misunderstand it and then go off on a tangent off of this like misunderstanding. Is it actually verbatim from a Reddit post? Why do you guys know that? It's the latest clip chimp on Reddit. What is it? What is it? Because I said the Democrats didn't actually go out to bat for trans people? Is true, and now they're actively talking about writing them off entirely. It's a clip from an Ezra Klein video. What was the clip? I don't even know what said that people misunderstood even. Why is this guy not saying anything else? He just said this and then what, unfollowed? Is that what happened? Bro, Ta-Nehisi Coates says Joe Biden over trans people. How can libs even deny it at this point? The Democrats actively wrote off trans people and are continuing to do so right now. The problem, however, is that the position of many people in the United States of America is transphobia. What is this? Reddit live stream comments. Hasan Piker doesn't think it would be better for trans people right now under Kamala. Okay, well, right off the jump, I know that that's not what I was saying.
I'm going to tell you.
Let's see how they clipped it.
And by the way, this is a wrong statement that he's going to deliver. But don't you think things would be better for trans people right now if Kamala Harris, after making concessions about transphobia and leaning into anti-trans narrative?
Wait, it's very obvious what I'm saying. I'm saying Ezra Klein is going to make an argument that as long as Democrats are elected, that even if they are actually elected on transphobia, then obviously things will be better for for trans people. That's the argument that he's making. My argument is there's an alternative, which is to get elected on economic issues and get transphobic people on board to vote for the Democratic Party without actually becoming transphobic. Do people just not watch these clips at all? Is that what it is? Like they just go off of like what the headline says? Is that what it is? This has 6,000 upvotes. Oh my God, people are so stupid. Guys, this is out of context. We need a full 6-hour stream to contextualize this. Not really. You can just think critically.
She had won. Don't you think things would be better for trans people as opposed to right now? The reason why this is wrong is twofold. Number one, at that point, all you've done is, once again, concede to the right-wing framing on trans people presenting some outsized harm to the American population. It's not only incorrect, but it's a harmful narrative, and you've leaned into it. And in that process of leaning into it, you have normalized it. You have legitimized the claims of your opponent. Number two, your opponent...
How can people look at this and be like, this guy's obviously transphobic or wrong about this statement? Yes, I'm saying that if you lean into and concede to the false framing that trans people are presenting an outsized harm to American public broadly, then you've legitimized what the Republicans are saying. You've recognized what they're saying, and you will lose. This got boosted by Contrapoints, by the way. Oh my God, dude. Listen, I'm sick and tired of genocide dares having to live with the shame of constantly having to defend Israel, but also feel bad because people think you're a moron. So they just look for any avenue, any alternative, anything that they can say to slander people who made them feel bad. That's it. I don't give a about Hasbara Points' takes on this issue, okay? Jesus Christ. Oh, every person is like, I felt bad one time because of my positions and how wrong and stupid they were or how harmful they were. So I'm going to spend the rest of my life, I'm going to spend the rest of my days making you my number one op, my number one enemy. They don't watch the clips and analyze the words. They're just preconditioned to hate you and just believe what the headline is true because it fits the narrative to hate you. Yes, dude. Yes, yes. I'm saying that in a world where the Democrats said they are the transphobes now, yes, it would be worse for trans people, regardless of whether it was a Democrat doing the transphobia or a Republican doing the transphobia. That's it. That's it. You can insert any issue onto this, not just trans people either, even though I know Democrats love, or liberals love, using trans people as a talking point only, while in the process of actively undermining their existence. These people have no convictions. They have no interest in like actually winning power whatsoever. She posted a LSF post. She posted a live stream fails post. Do you know? God. On Blue Sky, God, what a pussy she is, that she just ran away from Twitter. Posting r/live stream fails clips of Hasan makes it seem like you're on Ethan Klein /sex pest in the art, which is quite sad. The weakness and capitulation of the Dems on trans rights is something that will need to be addressed sooner or later. I hate all streamers equally. Be that as it may, while Hasan's point may not have been articulated the best, there's nothing objectionable about it. The fact that the Dems won't actively torture us with their policies, but rather largely ignore us and treat us like a liability is hardly a selling point. They have to do better. Actually, not torturing us is a selling point. I'm always going to vote to not be tortured, but to each their own, I guess. The argument is they're saying we're going to torture you as well. Okay, because seemingly everyone wants to torture trans people. So the Dems are saying, we are going to also torture you. That's what they're saying. And at no point did I say, don't vote for the Democrats. This is a fantasy narrative that she has established. Piker is 100% right in that clip. Does someone take a chunk of your brain with an ice cream scoop? You don't have to concede plainly untrue things like trans people would be worse off under Kamala Harris than Trump. That's not what I said. You didn't watch it. He never said that in the clip. This is a wrong statement he's going to deliver. If she had won, don't you think things would be better for trans people? I skipped over some of his waffling there, but he's definitely trying to make that point that she would have been just as bad, and just not the case. No. The argument is, if she's winning on transphobia, then she's also transphobic. If Kamala, the argument that Ezra is making for the future, not for this past election cycle, but for the future election cycle, is that Democrats should write off trans people and be transphobic. Democrats should literally be transphobic to win elections. If Democrats are being transphobic to win elections, they are not going to win a single vote, because transphobes are still going to vote for the Republicans because they will always outflank the Democrats on transphobia. And also on top of that, they will have conceded the framing, the false framing that trans people are somehow representative of a threat to American existence, and legitimize that talking point, which then pushes more people that are in the margins to the Republicans, because they go, okay, well, if the Democrats are also admitting that trans people are a problem, then I might as well go for the transphobia party. This is for every issue. It happened with immigration. It's happening with trans people right now. That's what this argument is. These people are professional misunderstanders of the argument, because I'm sorry, no matter how brilliant you might think they are, they're actually stupid. And yes, that even includes PhD Contrapoints over here, okay? They're just stupid. That's it. There's something that happens in someone's mind when they just literally are like, oh, I think this is the method, okay? I am a firm believer that the Democrats can do no wrong. And if anybody goes against that narrative, they are my enemy. But for Contrapoints to obviously post a LSF subreddit post is not because she's stupid, even though she is obviously not the most intelligent person, because if she actually was an intelligent person, she wouldn't have come out and been like, I think the real problem with Israel's genocide is how bad people make me feel about Israel doing a genocide, so they should have never posted about Israel's genocide because it was unproductive. At a time right before basically the entire world decided, oh no, Israel is definitely doing a genocide, mass famine is happening, and then the unlimited faucet of Israel opinions unleashed upon the marketplace. Talk about the worst timing. You shut up for like a year and a half about Israel annihilating children, only to come out with your brave take, right at the precipice of a genuine sea change on this issue. So now she'll just forever lick her wounds on that issue and make me a enemy, and will go to the lengths of like literally posting some of the most transphobic communities, some of the most transphobic communities posting some of the most transphobic subreddits. Hold on. Oh my God. Klein's desire for a more conservative party speaks to the out-of-touch liberal consulting class, and I would argue that Contra's post was intended to post you in a negative light. Not saying she simply can't be wrong, but I think this is a side-eye takedown in order to bolster her dwindling authority within the political space. Post her takes on Israel. No, that's precisely what it is. Thank you for summarizing it. I was a little bit too emotional to adequately explain exactly what was going on, but that's what it is. Yes, she came out and tarnished what remained of her credibility as a progressive spokesperson. So now she's just forever going to hold on to that grudge. Anyway, the post about what I'm saying there is not that like Kamala Harris is worse on trans issues than Donald Trump is, or Kamala Harris would be the same on trans issues as Donald Trump. What I'm saying is if Kamala Harris were to run again, or whoever the is running again on the Democrat side was also running on transphobia, they would not only lose, but they would also make the entire environment for trans people worse overall by legitimizing the false framing that their opposition is running with. And they wouldn't win a single vote. This is why the Democrats lost the last election. It's so stupid. Oh, wow. Only now. On Harris now admitting Gaza was a key issue for swing voters, she lost. Campaign leadership explicitly gaslit us about that. We lost Michigan and Wisconsin because of the genocide in Gaza. Kat Abu-Ghazalek says, voters see Gaza and wonder if the U.S. can fund that. What would it fund against them? ICE has been using weapons and using surveillance tactics where Gaza was a proving ground. Left is always right, but too early. God, I hate this so much. We have to not only fight Republicans, fascists, and they're basically one big unit now, obviously. But then also we have to fight against liberals who are just like refusing to see the world with a sense of dignity and honesty. They just won't. They feel like it's a threat to their power. And even if they're not actually liberals in positions of power, even if they're goddamn essay writers on YouTube that put out like 1 8-hour video once every 2 years, they still act as though they're about to get primaried by like their left flank or some shit in their defense of liberalism. What do you have to lose? You don't have to have this opinion. You don't have to defend stupid positions. Hakeem Jeffries kind of does have to defend stupid positions because that's why he was elected and that's why he was elevated into the point in the party that he's elevated to. But you don't have to do that. You're a YouTube essayist that makes one YouTube essay every 2 years. Who gives a shit? Read a book.